voters, Union Minister Arun Jaitley was reminded of the dialogues of the tragic old era of Hindi cinema as he watched Karnataka Chief Minister H.D. Kumaraswamy break down live on television at a public event. I am not assuming this, I didn't make this up. This is what Mr. Jaitley said in his blog today. For those of you who missed out on what really happened over the weekend, Karnataka Chief Minister got teary-eyed. Yet again, this time speaking about his helplessness, saying that he is an unhappy Chief Minister, saying that he is somebody who's swallowing the poison like Shiva, hinting at the pain of coalition politics. This isn't the first time, viewers. In the past 2 months, he's raised the issue of coalition compulsions and how helpless he feels multiple times. Days after swearing in fact, he said that he is obliged to the Congress party and not to the people, since the mandate wasn't wholly and completely given to him by the people of Karnataka. If that is the case, do the people of Karnataka deserve such kind of a government, where the Chief Minister is feeling helpless, where the Chief Minister is feeling that he is burdened and buried under the burden of coalition politics, claiming that he can't even govern the way he wants to? Will governance not suffer in the state of Karnataka if this is actually what is happening? And what does this really say about the larger ambitions of non-NDA parties of our country who are hoping to put up a tough challenge to Mr. Modi in 2019? Should the voters take a message, take this as a reminder that an alternative front is perhaps not a good idea for a country like India, where politics then takes a front seat and governance often gets forgotten? That's the big debate tonight.
This visual from the day H.D. Kumaraswamy was sworn in as Chief Minister was meant to send the signal that an alternative front was in the making. But in less than 2 months since then, the Chief Minister of Karnataka has cried foul more than once over lack of power.
ನೀವೆಲ್ಲ ಸಂತೋಷದಲ್ಲಿದ್ದೀರಿ, ಏನೋ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಅಣ್ಣನೋ ತಮ್ಮನೋ ಮುಖ್ಯಮಂತ್ರಿ ಆಗಿದ್ದಾನೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ. ಆದ್ರೆ ನಾನು ಸಂತೋಷದಲ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ. ನನ್ನ ಒಂದು ನೋವೇನಿದೆ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ನಾನೇ ಆ ನೋವನ್ನ ವಿಷಕಂಠನಾಗಿ ನುಂಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ಹೇಳಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಬಯಸ್ತೇನೆ.
Alas, this incident didn't get the response Kumaraswamy had hoped for. Response from the ally partner ranged from mockery to dismissal.
How can he say that? He must be definitely happy. Chief Minister has to be happy always. If he is happy, we will all be happy.
He should be very courageous to face such circumstances. Simply by telling people or before his party people, it is not going to solve.
The opposition party in the state called it mere theatrics.
It is his business now to manage the coalition and provide good governance. Wailing before the workers, crying about his helplessness will only indicate his frustration and his helplessness.
In a blog post, Finance Minister Arun Jaitley stated that the act took him back to the Hindi cinema tragedy era, using this opportunity to slam the opposition and their plans to unite. Amidst this drama, governance seems to be ignored by politicians in Karnataka now. Who is answerable for that? The debate begins.
Let's say good evening to our guest, Malika Avinash, spokesperson for the BJP, Brajesh Kalappa of the Congress Party, Saad Khan, filmmaker, joining us this evening. Harish Bijur, brand guru from Bengaluru, will also be with us shortly. And Mr. Arivalagan, spokesperson for the JDS. Mr. Arivalagan, I'm going to come to you first and ask you, why is Mr. Kumaraswamy so upset? And I think it's getting worse for him from the day he took charge to today.
Madam, let me tell you first, it is a program which is organized by the party to felicitate our CM. And it is a program which has been organized by our JDS party to felicitate our CM. And during such a situation, he made a clear statement. Actually, we had an idea of getting full majority, and JDS will be forming its own ruling of government. But this has not happened. So why? Because you could have been known whenever our CM Kumarana visits some places for election canvas or whatever it is, we used to get around more than lakhs of people used to gather, but which have been not turned in part of votes. And definitely that is one. And we have lost around 25 seats of MLA with a margin around less than 2,000 votes. And we have lost around 10 seats with less than 1,000 votes. This all has accounted, and and moreover, it is a one party's function. Almost all the party workers seem to be happy over felicitating Kumarana, our CM, but he was not in position. Why? Because since we got less number of MLA seats, he was not in position to convey that one to the party workers, which ultimately got his emotion. And moreover, he is the right person, and he is the only political leader in Karnataka. He is very sentimentally attached to almost all the party workers. He will be knowing each and every part of the JDS party workers. But I don't know whether other political party or other political leaders of entire Karnataka or entire India knows about the party workers. He is very close, and you could have been known. He always likes to be as one of the family among the party workers, and moreover, even he used to have very good relationship. And with the party workers, he used to have a very good relationship. How? Because he called
Fair
everybody
enough.
as a brother, Anna,
Fair enough, Mr.
Akka,
Aravalagam.
Tangi. So
I know that. I know
moreover,
Mr.
let me tell
Kumaraswamy
you,
is very close to his party workers. I also know he is a sensitive or an emotional person, and he often shows that. But when he says that you are happy that your brother has become chief minister, but I am not happy. The pain that I have within me, I have it like Vishwakanta, which is a reference to, of course, Lord Shiva drinking that poison. I did not become chief minister to flaunt the title, but to fulfill the unfinished agenda of my father. Now, I feel, Mr. Aravalagam, that very often now, at least 2 or 3 times just in the last 2-3 months, he has indicated as if he is not able to do the things he wants to do. That's not very inspiring and encouraging to hear from a chief minister who's just been voted to power or sworn into power 2 months ago.
Madam, I agree with you, but one thing you should also realize, running a coalition government, definitely it is going to be a difficult one. And moreover, so one thing is very clear between Congress and JDS.
I didn't make that choice. Your party made that choice.
In a very good manner.
I didn't make that choice. Your party made that choice. Now it's being given excuses to why this government is going to fail in its promises.
No, we didn't fail anything else, no, madam. We didn't fail anything else. Just we have started. It is around 2 months, and moreover, we made even a record by waiving of 40,000 crore of loan, which is not been done by any central government so far. Even the central government BJP, which is ruling, they have not even done 1 paisa for the farmers. It is a great one. The coalition government of Congress and JDS, we played a very important role.
Okay. Let me go first to another panelist. Brijesh Kalappa, good evening. Can you hear me? Mr. Kalappa?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Yes,
Tanvi.
Mr. Kalappa, it sounds as if your ally partner in Karnataka is very, very unhappy, and they keep bringing it up repeatedly. You don't seem to be a very helpful ally partner in Karnataka.
No, first of all, Tanvi, you must, study the character you're speaking about. And I think Kumaraswamy as Chief Minister, and not just as Chief Minister, earlier also, he is a person who wears his heart on his sleeve. And this is not the first time he shed tears in public. And like my learned friend from the JDS has pointed out, this was supposed to be a meeting of party workers, and the relationship between the party workers is extremely close. So it was like a family gathering essentially. And in a family gathering, he has expressed his pain that the JDS did not get a full majority and they were not able to get the numbers required. And because of that, there are certain things that he could not do according to the promises he had made and that he has said. But more important than everything or any of this, Tanvi, is the issue that just yesterday when this party function was on, there was a group of fisherwomen who came and made a public statement that Kumaraswamy is not my chief minister. And this has, hurt him extremely seriously. And this statement like that, particularly to a person who has put his personal health at stake, because he, as you know, he has had 2 open heart surgeries and he is essentially doing everything he feels for the people's good. Now, keeping all this in mind, when there are people within the state who are instigated by the BJP who come and make a statement saying that Kumaraswamy is not my chief minister, meaning then he is the chief minister of whom? So when similarly Mr. U.R. Ananthamurthy had made a statement that Narendra Modi was not my chief minister, BJP trolls said, why don't you go to Pakistan? So is this the kind of response that they want? The point is that Kumaraswamy was seriously upset by the words used and has expressed it as much and said that, look, if words like this are used and these people are going to be instigated to express disaffection for me, then he has expressed it and that's the reason he's upset.
No, see, the problem is not whether he broke down or not. Of course, if he feels comfortable enough to show his emotions, he should be allowed to do that. The problem is what he says along with it, and this is not the first time, where he expresses his helplessness and talks about the burden of coalition politics. It doesn't instill a lot of faith, Mr. Kalappa, frankly speaking, in either the JDS or the Congress party. But allow me to bring your attention to what Arun Jaitley said today. He said, if this is the consequence of a 2-party coalition, what is it that a disparate group of parties with no ideological similarity will then offer to India? If this is going to be your pilot for 2019 alternative front, it doesn't seem to be instilling much faith right now.
No, I've seen Mr. Arun Jaitley's statement, and I think it was, in extremely bad taste. For the one reason that Arun Jaitley is actually, since I'm a member of the bar also, he's an extremely senior member of the bar. And I don't think the central government is treating him rightly. Because today, everybody knows he's supposed not to be well. But he's not being given the ministry which he occupied earlier. And he's made like a daily wage worker who has to come.
May I come in before Bridget digresses completely and takes the debate in a completely different direction?
So that the Prime Minister of India takes him into consideration. This is an extremely sad kind of state of affairs that Mr. Jaitley is in, and he's coming and making all kinds of statements while not even knowing the facts. Does he know that it's his own party which has instigated this kind of disaffection for Mr. Kumaraswamy? Is Mr. Jaitley aware of this? And today, like somebody who's trying to please the Prime Minister, he's come and said a lot of things. Okay. Most of them are untrue, and most of them are unsubstantiated and complete lies.
Okay, we'll come to that point about...
What a statement of Mr. Jaitley, whom I personally hold in great regard, but unfortunately the Prime Minister of India has rendered him into such a person that he has to do this kind of things to attract the Prime Minister's attention.
Well, I come in before Bridget on the panel seem to suggest that everything is fine and there is no problem. Yes, Malvika Avinash, coming to you. Hang in for 30 more seconds, please. But the reactions that we've got through the day don't seem to suggest that. We have a Chief Minister who's very upset that he's not able to do what he wanted to do as a Chief Minister because of coalition compulsions. We have the Congress Party senior leaders then telling him to think of the larger picture, the larger secular battle that we are fighting here, and don't get bogged down by anything else. The question then the voter must wonder is, what happens to me? What happens to my governance issues if everybody is just interested in the larger scheme of things and the larger politics? Malvika Avinash, your response to what JDS and of course Congress Party is saying right now.
No, I'm completely amused at the manner in which both the JDS and the Congress are trying to cover up or rather, cover fire for Mr. Kumaraswamy and his theatrics. Let me tell you, Karnataka is used to his theatrics, and this is not the first time that he is broken down in public. I think you have said so also in your report. What is really sad is for the people of Karnataka who have a chief minister who clearly says he is unhappy being chief minister, and there is no one, believe me, no one has compelled him to become the Chief Minister of Karnataka, because he has a mere 37 of the 224. Both the JDS and the Congress party have been routed in these elections. The people have shown them the door. Yet, in desperation to hold on to power in Karnataka, the Congress party chose to stitch this alliance with Kumaraswamy and decided to make him Chief Minister. And now Kumaraswamy has come forth and spoken the truth. Let me also tell you that all of these theatrics, all of this, emotional outburst that he is putting forth to the people is almost as if to suggest that this government might crash any moment and that he should not be held responsible for it, because he will have the power but will not assume the responsibility that comes with the power. That is one part of it. The other part is, I do not know if Brijesh agrees with Mr. G. Parameshwara. You just showed him laughing at the situation and saying that Kumaraswamy cannot run away from his responsibilities. One. Two, Mr. Kharge, who literally admonished Mr. Kumaraswamy for having broken down like this. And today, Mr. K.B. Kolivard, who is also a senior member of the Congress party, who said that Siddaramaiah is responsible for his condition or for his outburst. So, within the Congress party, nobody is happy about Mr. Kumaraswamy's behavior, and therefore, I am really amused at the manner in which the Congress spokesman is speaking up for Kumaraswamy and trying to defend him.
Mr.
While the
Kalappa,
Congress party itself is not defending him and is very unhappy with his behavior.
Mr. Kalappa, would you want to respond before I go to other panelists?
Yeah, certainly. Malvika just said many things. Many of them need not be responded to. But the one thing she said that, no, the BJP has got the highest number of seats. I may only very humbly point out that, because I don't think she is given to stating the whole truth. The point is that as far as the
that's
Congress
what the
party is
people have
concerned,
declared. 104 is what the people have given us. I did not say it at all. You please respond to what I said.
In 2018, we have a pro-incumbency vote of plus 2%. Today we have 38% of the vote share, and although Malvika may claim that she has so-called moral victory and so on and so forth, she must remember, I don't think she can drown my voice out. I don't know why she has this habit of speaking in between.
No, let's not make it a screaming match, please.
That more Karnatakas have voted for the Congress party than for the BJP.
Okay, let's not make it a screaming match, please. That's not the point. The point is that we want to understand from all the politicians.
BJP will win.
For the BJP.
1 minute, Mr. Kalappa and Malvika Avinash. The point is that we want to make to all the politicians is that don't forget that it's governance that is at risk right now, as you all now then talk about the larger scheme of politics, whether in state or at the national level. Harish Bijur, I'm going to go across to Harish Bijur and ask him. Harish Bijur, there is the problem of a shortage of jobs, increasing unemployment that our country, including Karnataka, is plagued with. Karnataka's farm crisis hasn't gone away yet. There is a building water shortage, water crisis, both in rural and in urban areas. Let's not even get talking about the urban infrastructure problem. Do you think all of these have been forgotten in the past 2 months as the two parties try and just keep the coalition alive?
Not just 2 months, it's been 5 years since everything has been forgotten.
I will put it this way, that, there certainly is a job quake. Why in Karnataka, but in the entire country? And there certainly is a farmer crisis in the entire country by and large, and Karnataka is a part of that. All this while, I thought the elections are done with, dusted in the middle of May. But today's debate and the last word today seems to say that the elections are not over. Long live the elections. And I think this will continue. This fever and fervor will continue right up to the 2019 Lok Sabha elections. But the point that we were talking about, I think that's important. One of the key issues is the fact that Mr. Kumaraswamy has wept at a particular party fora. Now, you could call it a reasonably private fora, or you can call it public. But in politics, nothing is private. Just as long as there are bites and there are visuals which actually show a weeping Mr. Kumaraswamy, it really is going to say that, Mr. Kumaraswamy is feeling quite deeply about it. I will not dismiss this to be theatrics, because if the people of a state can cry, then the chief minister of that state can as well cry. I think this is transparent politics. I love it. I have seen Mr. Kumaraswamy cry earlier. We have seen him cry earlier. We'll see him cry in the future. We have seen Mr. Modi cry in the past. So if you really look at it, I think expressing feelings, nothing wrong with it. But one last point is that the fact remains that uneasy lies the head that wears the crown. And I think that's, I'm going back to Shakespeare, I think Henry IV. If you really look at it, that is quite true. Because Mr. Kumaraswamy is holding the burden of state of a minority party, holding on to governance with the help of the Congress. I think it's going to be burdensome. And I think this burden needs to be carried by him. I really hope he carries it well.
Okay, you hope he carries it well. I think every single voter of Karnataka also hopes that. Saad Khan, what's your own view? I mean, of course, it's good to have a leader who's sensitive, who's not scared to show the emotions. But when it's about people and you feel the pain of the people, yes. But when you start feeling the pressure of coalition politics and not being able to take your own decisions or having to give in or bend in too much to the other side, that then becomes concerning. Would you agree?
Yes, I would agree. We all know that coalition government is fraught with tension, and considering that this entire situation that has risen, I agree with Harish when he says that it's okay for him to express the fact that he is sad. But on the overall picture, there is a lot of things that need to happen in Karnataka. And one of the things, obviously, even in terms of how the whole rhetoric of him trying to, say that this entire process is a situation that he's been put under, I'm right now worried about the people of Karnataka. And I feel that without sort of taking any situation or any sort of stand, I'm definitely going to understand that the people of Karnataka right now definitely should focus on understanding what we need from the leaders. With all the stuff that's going on, whether it's a farmer crisis, whether it's unemployment, those things have to be sort of focused on. I know it's only been about 2 months, but I think we should also be a little lenient in terms of, there is criticism, there is politics, but if we keep that aside for some time, what else can we do in terms of progress for the state? That's my main concern.
Okay, so I'm going to go across to a caller right now and then go back to Mr. Arivalagam for some reactions. Anand Shirali is calling us from Mumbai. Good evening, Anand.
Hi, good evening.
Go ahead, please.
No, that's what the only thing that I would want to say is I think from whatever I see on TV that has been happening for the last 2-3 days, the drama that has been unfolding in Karnataka, I think there are two options actually which I think I would want to offer Kumaraswamy. One of them is he can contact maybe Raju Hirani and get a biopic done for himself. Okay, so Bollywood is one place. The next is if he's really talking about being Vishakanta and having swallowed such a lot of venom, then possibly he can also opt for a job in the National Institute of Virology. Okay, for anti-venom antidotes in Pune.
Okay.
Because it's so surprising. I mean, jokes apart, this is in lighter vein, but it's so surprising when he's a seasoned player of a seasoned politician who's also, I mean, his father has been a seasoned politician.
Yes.
So we don't want to really talk about this thing. I think when he got into a coalition, he was absolutely clear what are the perils of a coalition.
Yes.
And it's like a husband-wife relationship in politics.
I agree. If you get into a coalition and you know how it's going to be, you're not new to this, then be prepared to deal with it. And then don't cut a sorry figure, at least not within the first 2 months. Mr. Arivalagam, what will happen to the crucial issues? You heard what Saad Khan said. The concern is what happens to the real issues. If Mr. Kumaraswamy is feeling so emotional and so restrained and constrained right now, then how is he going to deliver on infrastructure development, on solving the farmers' crisis, or on the water crisis, or even on job creation front?
Madam, let me be very clear. Our CM Kumarana told very clearly, definitely the breakdown has happened. Why? Because it is emotionally which has happened during a party meeting. And moreover, there is no even I surprised why media are focusing only the negative points, and there is no negative at all. And moreover, my friend Anand who's from Mumbai.
Arivalagam, so you are saying this is just for private consumption to the party workers. Then tell me this. What Mr. Kumaraswamy as Chief Minister told us 1 week after swearing in. 1 week after swearing in, what did he say? I don't have the complete mandate to of the people. I am obliged to the Congress party. I am not obliged to the people of Karnataka anymore because they did not give me the complete mandate. Has that thought changed, or does he still believe in that?
No,
because then that still reflects his mind of helplessness.
Please. You do one thing, you give me 5 minutes time, let me tell you what is really happening. One you should know very clearly, I don't know really which politicians of entire India, the only CM, the people, for the people is only Kumarana, you will be knowing that. And we know him very clearly, he is very close to almost all the party workers, especially disabled peoples. We have very close bonded relationship that made him to break
very
down.
Good.
Nothing else. He made it very
That's
clear.
your problem.
No way Congress
very
plays a role in that.
Good for you, good for your party. That is not a voter's concern. That is not a citizen's concern. Yes, Ms. Malvika Avinash, 1 minute, please. No, Mr. Arivelagam, that is not a citizen's concern. Great that you have a very good bond, emotional connect with your leader. That's not my problem. My problem is what are you going to do about the issues I voted you to power for?
Madam, one thing you understand, madam, really, even our Kumarana is made up of flesh and blood. Definitely he'll have sentiments. It is only due to the party workers, just he has breakdown, not anything else. And moreover, even you will be knowing that what he told, I am consuming poison, it's nothing like wrong in saying that. He told very clearly. Why? Because when you're waving around 44,000 crore of loan, definitely he'll have very good burden of it. And moreover, when he is rise around VAT around 2% in petrol and diesel, definitely when some of the people started to protest, why? Because since he is safeguarding the farmers of Karnataka, it is a main duty. Not only it is a responsibility of CM, it is a responsibility of each and every citizens of Karnataka. Why? Because he is doing for my brotherhood, my brothers, my sisters, farmers of Karnataka.
Increasing the burden on fuel is frankly just lack of innovation from your chief minister, who's gone for the easiest way out to raise some tax funds for the farmers. There are 101 ways experts and economists could have actually told you, but that's your choice. You've gone ahead with it. Malvika Avinash wanted to come in. Please go ahead.
Now one thing, no. When central government
this
is not
whole thing of it was a personal meeting. It was between the leader and the party workers.
Yes, Mr. Arivelagam, 1 minute please. Malvika Avinash, yes.
This whole story of it's okay to be emotional because he broke down in front of his party workers, all that is fine. Now this is not the first time that he's broken down. That has been several times said over. What about the statement he made in the assembly where he said he's like Karna, and Karna is this, this child of, a situation that arose, and then perhaps he should tell us who Duryodhana is also, because he said that it was Duryodhana as a friend who offered, Karna a territory to rule and govern and so on and so forth. So who in the Congress party is then Duryodhana? Can he tell us? And what was this story about him being at the mercy of the Congress party of Rahul Gandhi and not so much the people of Karnataka? All that was for public consumption, right? That was not in front of the people of his party workers. Repeatedly in the last 2 months, he has only been apologizing and saying that, he is compelled to stay in power.
Okay, let him respond.
He's got only 37 and he has lost deposit in 154 constituencies.
If he is the Karna, who is the Duryodhana?
Who's telling him to stay on that seat?
Malvika Avinash, 1 minute. Let's listen to his answer quickly. Yes.
And the Congress is greed for power.
Yes. If he is Karna, who's Duryodhana?
You have been a very strong opposition. Why can't you demand central government to waive off the loan?
Mr. Arivelagam, okay. I am going to go across
Can I factor in as a citizen?
Yes, please do, Mr. Khan.
I just wanted to understand one thing or other. I wanted to say this, that he's talking about the problems he's facing. He's not saying that he can't do it.
Yeah.
Can we allow some time? When I say some time, I'm not expecting years. I'm saying maybe a few more months, because at the end of the day, when a coach is allowed to be sensitive, when an actor is allowed to be sensitive, when a teacher is allowed to be sensitive, a politician also can be sensitive. Yes, he might have cried earlier, he might cry later, but the idea here is that he's not saying he's not going to do it. He's just saying that he's got problems and this is a situation and he's under pressure.
Yes.
Yes, obviously we are politicizing it or maybe making it very critical, but he's not saying anywhere that...
Who's asking him to stay under pressure and be in
We don't know that.
If he's unhappy...
No, Mr. Khan, he has 5 years to do this if he wants to do it. But how is the situation going to change? Who is going to allow him to do this? When the loan waiver came out, there were disagreements. When the portfolio allocation happened, there were disagreements. When the fuel price strike was announced in the budget, there were disagreements. disagreements. Congress insisted there be a rollback. When the subsidized rice decision was rolled back from 7 kg to 2 kg, there were problems between the Congress and the JDS. They obviously even differed on presenting an entire new budget because Congress wanted to stick to the old budget. Now we have a comment coming in from a senior leader, former Speaker of Karnataka, KB Kolivar, who is saying that senior Congress leaders are responsible for Mr. Kumaraswamy's tears because they are trying to bring him down. This is Mr. Kolivar who is saying this. So, my question only is, on what grounds are you so optimistic that he will be able to do it, even if he wants to bring about a change for the people?
I am just trying to be optimistic only because we are going back and forth about the fact that he's being sensitive. We've been going back and forth about the fact that he's not delivered.
Right.
It's 2 months. You know, it's been 2 months. I know that there is a lot of pressure from every end that, okay, we have to deliver, we have to deliver. But this has been happening for the last 20 years. Everyone comes in, it's about one party against the other, third party against the second party. All of that is happening. Yes, there is a problem and there is...
Go ahead, Mr. Khan. Finish your point, please.
Yes. So that's what. So I just said that, right? It's the time. Yes, I know that what I'm saying might look like I'm supporting. I'm right now I'm being optimistic only because I think as a citizen,
as a voter,
the only thing that is driving the nation right now is optimism.
Fair enough. Okay, that's your point. Fair enough. And if you're hopeful, then that's great. But I'm going to go across to Brijesh Kalappa, who's got his hand raised. Go ahead, Mr. Kalappa. What do you want to say?
Yeah, I just heard Malvika Avinash say that Mr. Kumaraswamy has wept and nobody is asking him to weep and he can as well throw in the towel and go away. I wish he had the same kind of advice for Mr. Modi. Mr. Modi has cried at least 5 times during his last prime ministerial term. And on one occasion, he said that, look, I've left everything and come. Like he belonged to some extremely rich family and he had left all of it, the riches behind. And he had come to occupy the Prime Minister's bungalow, which is a 25-acre bungalow with 5 bungalows fitted in. So he said that I've given up my life of great luxury to come here and to serve during the demonetization period. Would she have advised the same thing
Please don't
to
compare
Mr. Modi?
Mr. Kumaraswamy
Would
with
she have
Narendra
advised the
Modi.
same thing to
They
Mr.
are
Modi?
completely incomparable. I do not accept this
who is
comparison.
their party president in Karnataka,
I am sorry,
regularly
Brijesh,
weeps.
we have a mammoth majority in
He's
Parliament.
a regular crybaby.
Unlike you and Kumaraswamy,
Does
who
Malvika
just
Avinash
stitched up
have
an
the same thing to say about Mr. Yadurappa? Does Ms. Malvika Avinash have the same thing to say
about Mr.
Yadurappa, who's even now I can show you
What about Mr.
grabs of his
Yadurappa
crying.
now?
Just now, because as soon as he left the party, as soon as he became chief minister, he cried. He cries and he cries.
This is not
so
about crying.
Malvika
This is
Avinash
about
say, why
crying
don't you
for
give a
what?
president position and
This
go
is not
back?
about crying
Is this
at all.
something which she would have told her own party member or party leaders?
Okay, let's hear what she has to say about it.
So the point is, if you're going to give any advice,
It's all very
first give it within
convenient
your own party,
for you to view
and
this
then you can step outside and give it to the
lens
others.
of your own.
Okay, now let's hear what she
Now,
has
the
to say about it.
important
Yes,
thing
Ms.
is, Tanvi,
Avinash, what are you
The
saying?
important thing is, in regard to Mr. Arun Jaitley's statement,
Yeah.
in regard to Mr. Arun Jaitley's statement, let me just tell you. See, Mr. Arun Jaitley
No,
makes
Brijesh
3
can
points.
go on for the next half
One
an hour.
is that
Will I be allowed to respond?
Yes, you will be. Let him
No,
finish
is
his
she
point,
going to
then I'll
allow
come
me
to
to
you.
speak or is she going to keep acting?
Yes, Brijesh Kalappa, what about
No,
Arun
he has
Jaitley?
spoken
As far
about
as
Mr.
Arun
Jaitley
Jaitley is
and
concerned,
spoken falsehoods.
Arun
And
Jaitley has
Brijesh has
said-
turned
Malvika
out to be a
Avinash, let's not
screenwriter
interrupt
today,
each other like
making
this.
up his
Everybody
own
wants to
story.
have a very, normal conversation. Let's all hear each other's points, please. And
No,
then
but
I
you
will
can't
give
go
you a
on
chance to go.
imagining a story about Mr. Jaitley and uttering all this falsehoods.
Mr. Jaitley has made some very interesting points. I
I'm
would want
sorry.
to know what the Congress thinks
Let's
of it.
discuss Kumaraswamy.
He's raised the larger question of a possible alternative front or
Let him answer.
for 2019.
Let him answer
I want
on
to
what
hear
Mr.
what Congress
Kolivar has
party
said.
thinks of
Let
it,
him
please.
answer on what
Brijesh
Mr.
Kalappa.
Kharge has
Brijesh
said.
Kalappa
Let him
only, please.
answer on
Malvika
what
Avinash,
Mr.
please don't make me
Siddaramaiah
do
said of
this.
Kumaraswamy.
Don't make me, don't force me to bring down your volume, please. Let's listen into others. Yes, Brijesh Kalappa.
No, you're not letting me speak at all.
See, Mr. Jaitley makes a point and he says that these, see, she is like a jack in a box. She has to talk continuously when somebody is speaking on the broadcast.
Go ahead
I
now.
don't know
Finish
what
your
kind
point,
of
Don't make
please.
manners
personal
these are.
comments.
In any
I'm not
case.
here to listen to all this.
Now,
I am sorry.
the point
I am sorry.
Mr. Jaitley made,
I'm not here to listen to
the
personal
point Mr.
comments.
Jaitley made,
Mr. Brijesh Kalappa, please apologize for what you just said.
The point that Mr. Jaitley
I am not here to listen to personal comments made against me. No, I am sorry. I am sorry.
Can we get back to the debate, please?
Anyway, I don't think she wants to be a part of the debate because she's losing the debate.
No personal comments. No personal comments now to Mr. Kalappa and to Malvika Avinash. Let's not make any personal comments and let's not interrupt each other. Brijesh Kalappa, finish your point, and then Malvika Avinash, please speak. And that is how we are going to go about this debate now. Brijesh Kalappa, please.
Yeah, okay. So, see, Mr. Jaitley made 3 points. One, he said that there are ideological differences between the JDS and the Congress party, and the Congress party has a long record of ditching its partners. Now, how incorrect it is. Who is the party which has ditched the PDP in Jammu and Kashmir? Is it the Congress party which left Mehbooba Mufti high and dry? I would like to ask Mr. Jaitley through Malvika Avinash. What happened with the case of Mr. Chandrababu Naidu when huge promises were made that a huge amount of money would be given for the state capital Amravati? Who ditched the state of Andhra Pradesh? Who made the promises in the first place? Was it not Mr. Modi? Was it not Mr. Modi who ditched Mehbooba Mufti? Was it not Mr. Modi who ditched the Shiv Sena, who is continuously speaking against the Modi Sarkar? Is it not the Shiv Sena which is continuously speaking at Modi Sarkar? Now, in regard to the other partners, now which other partner is with the BJP? Every other partner has left them. Do you tell me the JDU of Nitish Kumar joins into an alliance with the Congress party and with the RJD? We all join and go to elections together. Now the BJP midway, it hijacks him.
No, that's just a classic example, Mr. Kalappa.
Is that the ideological party?
When your ideologies don't match, the coalition doesn't last too long. That's just a classic example. Mr. Kalappa, point taken. Point taken. Although on Bihar, I'm just going to say that's actually a classic example of when ideologies don't match and you come together only for power, it doesn't work. Nitish Kumar walked out. Malvika Avinash, 30 seconds for your response, please.
I will stay silent.
Go ahead. Malvika Avinash, your turn.
Oh, I see. He gets 30 minutes, I get 30 seconds, is it?
No, she can only
He makes bizarre comments and I'm supposed to respond to all of them. I am not going to.
Do you want to respond at all?
Not to all these bizarre comments that he's just made.
Now
He goes on to everything other than Karnataka.
Perpetually angry on every TV debate. She's going to make personal comments.
No personal comments. No personal comments here. Okay, Mr. Kalappa, I have a question for you. If you will allow me, I have a question before I go across to our other panelists. I have a question for you, Mr. Kalappa. The point that was raised earlier by Malvika Avinash, and I'm just going to read out what Mr. K.P. Koliwar has said. Certain Congress leaders are responsible for H.D. Kumaraswamy's tears, and that they are not able to accept that Kumaraswamy has been made the chief minister, and they are now trying,
which is why he's disappearing from all debates.
Malvika Avinash, I am asking a question to the Congress party. At least allow me that much. Those who are not able to digest the Congress-JDS coalition government are simmering from inside and are giving trouble to Kumaraswamy. What do you have to say to Mr. Koliwar's statement, Brijesh Kalappa?
See, Mr. Koliwar has lost the election in 2018. And the moment he lost the election, he spoke about Mr. Siddaramaiah. He has a personal grouse against Mr. Siddaramaiah. And he has continuously been speaking against Mr. Siddaramaiah. So at this point in time when he spoke exactly against Mr. Siddaramaiah. So does that not mean that's his personal opinion? And would Mr. Koliwar, despite the fact that he has seniority, he has consistently been speaking against Mr. Siddaramaiah. And that's his personal opinion. He's expressing his personal opinion, and the BJP thinks it can latch on to somebody's personal opinion on a party issue. I think they are sadly mistaken.
No, don't make it about BJP. I was simply asking about your own party leaders who are making these kind of comments. But okay, point taken. I'm going to go across to Harish Bijur. Harish Bijur, the other larger aspect here is...
What about Mr. Kharge's comment then?
Here are two parties.
What about Mr. Kharge's comment? Is Mr. Kharge also Has he also lost elections and therefore is he also against Mr. Siddaramaiah? What
Mr.
about
Kharge, Mr. Kharge says you have to face
Parameshwar, who's the
problems.
Deputy Chief
Simply
Minister?
expressing
He also
won't
had
give a
laughter
message.
to offer
Let me
to
read it. Let me
Kumaraswamy.
read it. Malvika Avinash, let me read the comment for everybody's benefit. Mr. Kharge said you have to face problems. Simply expressing won't give good message to people who supported secular parties. Kumaraswamy should be courageous to face such circumstances. That's his comment. What?
Yeah, no, I agree. Mr. Kharge is correct when he says that. And these are words of a senior statesman to a leader who has become the chief minister. I think these are words of wisdom. And certainly Mr. Kumaraswamy will benefit by taking these words seriously. We have no difficulty in saying that. Mr. Kumaraswamy also regards Mr. Kharge. And these are words of wisdom which Mr. Kumaraswamy certainly will take seriously. There's no difficulty in that. What's the difficulty?
Malika Kharge,
These are not harsh
Mr. Kharge
words.
seems to suggest
These are
that
not
if you
words
are
which are,
consuming
angry
some
words.
poison for the larger good of secular parties coming together to stop the BJP, then just continue to do that because that's the larger picture. Harish Bijur, are you okay with that idea? Right now, two parties may be struggling. Of course, they have their own coalition compulsions. We are looking at non-NDA parties exploring a similar format with about 6 to 7 of them, if not more, coming together with multiple big regional faces. Does this instill good confidence that could really work? Or do you see merit in what Arun Jaitley has said?
Tanvi, I've read in detail Mr. Jaitley's blog. He makes some very interesting points, some very relevant points. He dips into history. He talks about what has happened in the past for sure. The key issue is this, that, the politics of brinksmanship is being played out in Karnataka today. Because the Karnataka model in which, victory was snatched away, literally the power to govern was snatched away at the last minute by nifty politics by two parties who have done beautifully in doing it. I think, that model worries the ruling party at the center for sure. The BJP will definitely be concerned about the fact that the Mahagathbandhan can be a reality in the future. And to that extent, I see brinkmanship in Karnataka, because if the Karnataka model can be made to fail, then the Mahagathbandhan can be showcased to be a mega maha failure.
Yeah.
Now, if, however, the Karnataka model cannot be defeated, if the JDS and the Congress continue to rule and do exceedingly well, I think the Mahagathbandhan can become a reality. Because let's not miss out on that photo op which Mr. Kumaraswamy took out, and who actually got all the leaders in. If at this point of time, I think this brinksmanship will play out right up to 2019, till the Mahagathbandhan, if at all, falls into place. The two parties, one does not want it and one wants it. And I think, the only person I don't envy in it all as of today is Mr. H.D. Kumaraswamy. He's wearing a heavy crown, and a crown which he has to carry into 2019.
The crown that he has to carry in 2019, Mr. Arivalagam, if he is under so much pressure right now, how will he deal that? How will he lead so many parties? Because clearly there was a message that your party leader wanted to send us with that swearing-in ceremony where he invited all the tall leaders from across the country. Now, if coalition politics is becoming so difficult in Karnataka, how will he handle it on national level?
Regarding national level, our Supremo Devagowda Appaji, you will be doing the best what can be done now to rule out BJP out of India. You will be the main master plan for entire India. You'll have even almost all. You'll bring almost all regional parties also together with Congress. And our main concern is very clear. We want to throw BJP out of India. That is the main concern.
So, Malvika Avinash, if that is the concern, then this coalition is going to continue. Whether or not Kumaraswamy gets to do any governance is beside the point.
He wants to throw BJP out of India. Is that what he said? God bless him. He's got 37 in Karnataka out of the 224.
We cannot throw BJP out of India.
We do not know if they can retain the one that they have in Parliament. May I speak now or?
Yes, yes.
Do I get a chance
Malvika
at all?
Avinash, let her finish her point, please. Yes.
Because everyone speaks over me, but I am not allowed to respond.
Go ahead, ma'am. Please finish your point.
No. So I don't know where it's all figment of their own imagination. We saw the show of strength, we saw the show of hands and everything just 2 months ago, and now we are seeing what's going on 2 months later, where Mr. Siddaramaiah, who happens to be the chairman of the coordination committee, at every stage, beginning from the very formation of the government to the formation of the cabinet, to the presentation of the budget, whether the budget should be presented or not, and subsequent to the budget being presented, the manner in which Mr. Siddaramaiah has been repeatedly admonishing Mr. Kumaraswamy, writing to him, speaking vociferously against him, against his policies, quite openly in public. He has even gone on to predict that this government will not last up to 2019. So, when nothing is in order in their house, for them to be imagining that they are going to bring down the BJP government in 2019 is ridiculous, and it's just a matter of imagination for both of them.
Okay.
Let them stay together and we'll see what goes on in Karnataka before they imagine, defeating BJP in 2019.
Okay, I have a last caller on the phone line, Usha Rao, calling us from Bengaluru. Good evening, Usha Rao. Go ahead, please.
Good evening, Tanvi. It's a bizarre situation in Karnataka right now. You see, the Congress and the JDS formed an unholy alliance when neither of the parties had the moral authority to form the government. They did it just to keep the BJP out. Now Mr. Kumaraswamy says the chief minister's post is a crown of thorns. What is even more bizarre is I heard a JDS spokesperson yesterday arguing on one of the channels on television that the BJP is responsible for Mr. Kumaraswamy's plight. We the people of Karnataka are bewildered, wondering what's happening in our state. The chief minister keeps changing his statement almost every day. First he said he became the chief minister to save the farmers of the state. Then he said he was at the mercy of the Congress and that he was obliged only to the Congress and not to the people of the state. Now he says he's like Lord Shiva who drank poison. Hello, are we watching a movie on the screen or is it all for real?
Yes, point well taken, Usha Rao. Thank you for calling in. Colonel Dilip Sharma on the phone line from Pune. Good evening, Colonel. Go ahead, please.
Good evening, ma'am. And good evening to all your panelists. What I am seeing on your screen is a huge amount of political drama. Like the country is basically looking for leaders. And leaders are people who are able to lead their people through thick and thin. They're able to lead their people through thick and thin, not by crying or doing all kinds of theatrics that you see over here. Every leader comes under pressure. The people of Karnataka and the nation are going to vote for leaders who are going to lead them through the thick and thin of what's happening around the country and around the whole world. Is this what they are going to vote for? The fact is, and I see this brand guru over here. What is he doing? He's just a part of some kind of a political party. What people of Karnataka are going to look for are going to look for leaders who are going to lead them through the thick and thin. If we want to see what the steers are for, conduct a public audit, a book audit, as well as a ground audit of all the funds received and spent by this crying gentleman, the chief minister, right from the day he took over power to the day that he is going to relinquish. That will tell all these panelists sitting over here how right or how wrong this whole drama is. And as regards sentimentality, all sentimentality of leaders, they are human and flesh, but they absorb pressure and they show that they have some gumption in them to lead the people. This is utter nonsense.
Colonel Sharma.
And thank you for having me on your show, ma'am.
Thank you for calling and thank you for watching, Colonel Sharma. With that, it's a wrap on this debate. Thank you to all our panelists. Just one word that I want to put it out there for our viewers and for the Netas. Yes, you had to come together to make a coalition to run that government. But don't forget that you all made a promise to your voters and you are answerable to them. Just because you're watching and thinking about and planning towards 2019 doesn't mean that for the next 1 year you go on with your theatrics and your drama about coalition politics, about secular politics, about anti-BJP front, while forgetting that there are a set of people, lakhs and crores of people who have voted for you in Karnataka. And frankly, if two parties cannot get together and make it work, at least even for a year without running into trouble, then what are we to expect from this so-called third front, alternative front that we are looking at for 2019 as a challenger to Prime Minister Modi? Parties with different ideologies came together in Bihar, it didn't work, it fell apart. Parties with different ideologies came in Jammu and Kashmir, it didn't work, it fell apart. Parties with different ideologies have come together in Karnataka. It's already run into trouble with the Chief Minister himself at least talking about it 3 times in just the last 2 months. This doesn't inspire any faith in any kind of tough challenger, clear thought process, clear ideology, clear leader coming up as the challenge to the BJP. Perhaps those who are challenging them should sit back and think about that. Thank you so much for joining us on this debate tonight.